Good morning. My name is John King. I'm the Director of Emergency Services for Indian River County, and I'm in the Board of County Commissioners chambers and going to provide the 10 a.m. briefing for Tropical Storm Ernesto. In the chambers this morning is county commissioners, City of Vero Beach representatives, representatives from the school district, from the sheriff's office. Sitting next to me is Sarah Rui from American Red Cross, and also with us this morning is Patty Vasquez from the Indian River County School District. First, let me start with Tropical Storm Ernesto. Currently, Tropical Storm Ernesto is moving towards the lower peninsula of Florida at about 14 miles per hour. The storm is increasing in intensity. The wind speeds were about 40 miles an hour at sunrise this morning. The National Hurricane Center suggests the winds will increase to about 65 miles an hour. And under the current track and intensity, the storm should enter and travel up the center part of the state and exit somewhere north of Daytona. Indian River County can expect to receive sustained winds of about 50 miles per hour and with gusts maybe to 65 or 70. What's more important is that at this point is we can expect rainfalls of at least about 5 inches. Remember, the storm right now is, the center of the storm is more than 300 miles from the closest point of Indian River County, and a slight change in track 10 degrees left or right will have a significant impact on what happens in Indian River County. So we encourage you to continue to watch the weather reports today, follow Ernesto, and make sure that you've done your family preparations. The current forecast from the National Hurricane Center suggests that Indian River County can expect to receive winds starting to exceed 30 miles per hour tomorrow morning, which is Wednesday, about 8 a.m., with the worst of the storm coming through our area sometime between noon and 4 p.m. Let me give you a little bit of information about what's happening in the county. The most important thing is do not call 911 unless you have an emergency. We have public information lines at 567-8000. Please feel free to use those lines if you have any concerns, but please do not call 911 because they're receiving a number of calls as we speak. The other thing that's important to know about Indian River County is we are not requiring mandatory evacuations at this time for Indian River County. We are suggesting voluntary evacuations. If you live in a low-lying area, if you live in a modular home, if you live in a house that has a blue tarp from last hurricane season, we're suggesting that you strongly consider using a public shelter. Now, we have 3 public shelters that are going to open at about 5 p.m. today, and those are the Freshman Learning Center in Vero Beach, the Gifford Middle School, and the Sebastian Middle School. And we also intend to open up the special needs shelter for those persons who do not feel comfortable in their place of residence this evening and into tomorrow. And those shelter openings will start at 5 p.m. today. For the special needs population, you'll be receiving a personal voicemail from us sometime no later than noon today, just so you'll know about that. I'll leave some more information about county government as a whole. The county courthouse is closing at noon today. They will be closed tomorrow. The county administration building is closing at 2 p.m. today, and they'll be closed tomorrow. Other information we would suggest you do, if you have any signs or any debris in your yard, today is a day to remove that and put it away for safety reasons. You don't want any flying debris. The county landfill and all the transfer stations will be open today. All transfer sites are open today. Sometimes some of those are closed on Tuesdays, but not today. And Community Coach will not be providing transportation on their fixed routes for tomorrow. Yesterday I advised you to check your hurricane supplies, prepare your homes from strong winds and rain. And now is the time for you to finish your protective actions. That means removing anything from your yard, checking to make sure your generator is working properly, and make sure your family and friends know today where to find you tonight and tomorrow so that they know how to get in contact with you. I would also share with you that we're going to have another briefing at 4 p.m. today, so stay tuned to Channel 27, this government channel. Also stay tuned to Christian radio station 91.9, and also listen to your NOAA weather radio. There's also information on the internet from the National Hurricane Center. That's a very good website to go to. Let me introduce Sarah Rui from the American Red Cross.
Thank you, John. As John stated, we will be opening the shelters at Gifford Middle, Sebastian Middle, and Freshman Learning Center at 5 p.m. today. However, there will be no meals served tonight, so if you're coming tonight, make sure you eat dinner before you come. Just a few reminders: bring water, bring snacks, bring sleeping mats or blow-up air mattresses. Make sure to bring your medication, toys, and games. If there's no power, there won't be any televisions or anything to entertain yourselves. We have trained volunteers standing by to man these shelters, but we are always looking for more volunteers. So if anyone wants to come to the chapter at 2506 17th Avenue at 11, we'll be doing a training. Thank you.
Also with us is Patty Vasquez from the school district.
Thank you, John. Good morning. School is in session today, business as usual. We will be closed tomorrow as a result of some of our schools being used as shelters. We will be sending out a Connect Ed telephone message to our families today to let them know the status of schools tomorrow. We'd also like to encourage them to stay posted to our website for all the latest storm information and the status of schools, as well as they may call our general information telephone number at 564-3000, and we'll be giving periodic updates to Christian FM 91.9 on a regular basis, and we'll be back for the 4 p.m. briefing. Thank you.
Very good. Just to recap, the most important thing is continue to watch the updates today, continue to watch the track and intensity of the storm. And again, the storm right now is moving towards the center part of Florida, and it's suggested that it's going to exit somewhere north of Daytona, so we're on the east side of the storm. Continue to watch the storm updates. And I have the Board of County Commissioners Chambers has quite a few people. Is there anybody that has any questions? Okay.
Early voting will be stopping at noon today, and will resume as soon as we can get back in our sites.
Okay, Kay Clem's with us today, and if you didn't hear that, what she's saying is that early voting is closing at noon today.
John, City Hall and all city government will be closed tomorrow also.
The City of Vero Beach is also reporting that the City Hall and city government will be closed for business tomorrow. And again, as a reminder, Community Coach, their fixed routes will be closed. They're closed for business tomorrow as well on their fixed route. Are there any more questions? Adam.
There been any decisions yet on closing the bridges or anything?
At this point, there has not been a decision to close the bridges. That's the question, is closing the bridges. The winds right now are suggested to be 50 miles an hour, and we won't get any of those strength winds until noon tomorrow. So we have plenty of time today to revisit that, have the most current information, and we'll revisit that at 4 o'clock today and also tomorrow morning.
When will you close them?
We'll close the bridges if we determine that the wind speeds create a traffic problem for traffic to go over. The bridges are perfectly safe up to about 35 or 40 miles an hour. Beyond that, we have concerns.
Any concerns of storm surge?
The National Hurricane Center has suggested to us that given the current track and intensity of the storm, that we can expect a storm surge of somewhere around 2 to 3 feet. And again, we're going to monitor that because a lot of things can happen in the next 24 to 36 hours. Are there any additional questions? Thank you, and we'll be back again at 4 o'clock for the most recent information. Thank you. Good morning. This is the 10 a.m. briefing for Tropical Storm Ernesto. Again, my name is John King, and I'm the Director of Emergency Services for Indian River County. The National Hurricane Center is reporting that Tropical Storm Ernesto has weakened slightly as it moved over southern Florida. As reported yesterday, we expect the worst of this storm to impact Indian River County from about noon to 4 p.m. today. You may note that if you watch some of the other weather channels, that the ground speed of Tropical Storm Ernesto has changed from about 14 miles per hour to about 8 miles per hour. How that impacts us is it actually slows down the timeline slightly for Ernesto making an impact in Indian River County. The good news is that the National Weather Service reports that we'll have gusts ranging from 30 to 45 miles per hour with sustained winds somewhat less. And rainfall predictions have also reduced from the formerly projected 5 to 10 inches to a more reasonable 3 to 6 inches. County and municipal governments are closed for regular business today, and of course the schools are closed today. We presently have no reports of utility outages, and this includes electrical, water, or sewer services. Please keep in mind that although Tropical Storm Ernesto has weakened, there remains a possibility of an isolated tornado and heavy rains. We are suggesting you remain mindful that while the weather appears okay this morning, that the National Weather Service reports that conditions are likely to decline later this afternoon. Regarding the local public shelters and special needs shelters, weather permitting, we intend to close those operations late this afternoon. And with me today is Sarah Wee from the American Red Cross.
Thank you, John. We will be supporting the shelters at Freshman Learning, Oslo Middle, and Sebastian River Middle as long as they need to stay open. So be reassured if you need to come, you can still come to the shelters.
Also with us today is Patty Vasquez with the school district.
Good morning. Thank you, John. We are hopeful that we will have school tomorrow, and we will be sending out an announcement this afternoon to our parents and our families via our telephone system, Connect Ed. So we ask for you to await that phone call for a decision on opening schools tomorrow. Thank you, John.
Thank you. There's every indication at this point that local government, county government, municipalities, everybody is going to be open for business as usual tomorrow. If you have any questions, the public information lines are open. That's 567-8000 for Indian River County. The City of Vero Beach also has lines available at 978-5100 and 978-5151. I'll repeat those. It's 978-5100, 978-5151. And the City of Vero Beach also reports if you have any power outages, please report those to 978-5000. That's 978-5000. Are there any questions?
John, I'd like to make a correction. The shelters that are open are Sebastian River Middle, Freshman Learning Center, and Gifford Middle School.
Okay, very good. We will continue to make announcements on Christian Radio 91.9. We're also having updates provided on 1490 WTTB and also 93.7 WGYL. We intend to have an update this afternoon for you at 10 p.m. Thank you.
4 p.m.?
I'm sorry, 4 p.m. I'm sorry, 4 p.m. Thank you. Good afternoon. This is the 4 p.m. briefing of Tropical Depression Ernesto. My name is John King, Emergency Services Director for Indian River County. The National Hurricane Center continues to favorably revise the predictions for Ernesto. In fact, the National Hurricane Center has downgraded Ernesto from a tropical storm to a tropical depression. And for the rest of the evening, we can expect sustained winds of about 25 to 30 miles per hour, and with gusts reaching about 40 miles an hour. Ernesto continues to track northward at about 10 miles an hour, and the National Weather Service has revised their rainfall predictions to somewhere between 2 to 4 inches over the next 24 hours. The good news is that tomorrow schools and government offices will reopen for business. And I want to express my sincere appreciation to the many volunteers and to the workers who unselfishly coordinated protective actions for this unique severe weather event. We had Red Cross volunteers, we had Salvation Army volunteers, we had librarians answering public information lines, we had many, many government workers doing jobs outside their daily activities to help coordinate these activities in Indian River County. I also want to thank the residents and the visitors of Indian River County. For the last 48 hours, your cooperation and patience has been greatly appreciated, and Indian River County is truly a nice place to live. Again, schools are open tomorrow, government's open tomorrow, Community Coach is back in service tomorrow, Meals on Wheels is back in service. And so, in closing, this is the last broadcast for Ernesto. I would also be remiss if I did not recognize the efforts of the school district, Christian Radio 91.9, WTTB 1490, WGYL 93.7, and the Press Journal for their assistance in providing public information. This concludes all the briefings for Tropical Depression Ernesto, and again, thank you.